Welcome, Rick. What's new in your world?
Well, I'd say in my world, life is improving. The truth is, in terms of the juniors, and I've said this before, a market that's fallen by 90% is 90% less risky than it was before it fell. Probably more importantly for me, the ability to deploy capital has begun to occur. For the last 3 years, the management teams had unrealistic expectations as to the cost of capital. But now people are realizing that the market isn't going to turn anytime soon, so they need to begin to deploy capital when their competitors are afraid to do it. Issuer capitulation, when the issuers that capitulate are the best of the issuers, marks the beginning of the end of a bear market, in my experience.
I know I've asked you this in the past. Here we are in early 2016. So how long do you think it'll take for the market to turn?
The beginning of the upturn of a market usually takes about 18 months from issuer capitulation. If past is prologue, the middle of 2017 should begin to see the same sort of definitive upside that we enjoyed in 2002.
In your opinion, are there still too many zombie companies walking around out there?
Oh, I think there's an awful lot of zombie companies, but I think most astute investors are long since past the zombie companies. I think the ability of the zombie companies to weigh the markets down is gone.
Are you currently following any sectors or areas that pique your interest?
Well, I think in terms of making money in junior companies that the precious metals group will outperform the rest of them. I think ultimately more money will be made in the bigger markets like copper and oil, but I think you're early into those markets. I think that the precious metals markets will surprise to the upside because I think that gold, although it could be soft for the next 3 months, will surprise us to the upside. I think some of the junior mining companies, having fallen 90% in real terms, have an awful lot more upside than they do downside. And I think importantly, that these companies will finance in this market, however painful it might be. And the fact that they finance will allow them to do work and create news in a news vacuum.
The Chinese economy is softening. What is your outlook for the medium term?
I'm prepared to say that the worst is yet to come for China, but the truth is that China is urbanizing rapidly, and the Han people as a people are extraordinary people. Time is on China's side. Somebody who is counting on China to bail us out this year or next year will be disappointed. But the truth is, like yourself, I've been through quite a few 5-year cycles in my life, and I'm much less afraid of 5 years than I used to be, particularly when the upside is so extraordinary relative to the downside.
And everybody wants to know what's ahead for Rick Rule in 2016.
Well, 2016, we're going to be able to deploy capital. We tried to deploy capital last year. We tried to deploy it the year before. We were unsuccessful. Our backlog is Sprott, both in terms of the equity market and the debt market, is at record levels. So we anticipate a very good year.
That's great. Thanks for taking the time for today's interview.
Always a pleasure. Thanks for the opportunity.